Hello and welcome again to Money Talks with me, George Pitcher at IB Times UK, and a very warm welcome as ever to Edmund Shing of BCS Asset Management and the Idle Investor website. Now, everyone hates Ryanair. They just feel they have to fly it for economic reasons. Isn't that right? And why should we invest in something that treats its customers so badly?
For a lot of routes, you really have no choice in terms of the route and the price. However, let's mention a couple of things, George, in mitigation. Why would I bother? Firstly, air traffic is up. Passenger traffic across Europe is up over 5% year on year. For Ryanair, it's up nearly 8%. For easyJet, it's up over 6%. So the numbers are good. Secondly, even though I hate to admit it, in Ryanair's defense, they are actually trying to improve customer service. Admittedly, you could argue it's not very difficult from the, it's a bit like
low base.
From a low base, exactly. But it is improving, and it is being shown in those better passenger numbers.
But airlines generally, aren't they a bit risky? I mean, in no such industry is it truer to say what goes up must come down.
Warren Buffett himself said, don't invest in airlines because they're a sure way to lose money.
Yeah.
The joke of that is, of course, that Warren Buffett himself is an investor in something called NetJets, which supplies aircraft on a fractional share basis. The point here is very simple, George. About 1 year in 5, airlines are a fantastic investment. The other 4 years, you stay well away.
Right.
This is that 1 year in 5.
In terms of that timing, how much of this is actually just an oil price play, with the oil prices coming down, airlines prospering on better margins? Is it as simple as that?
That's certainly one aspect. I mean, you know, if you look at the cost base of an airline, there are 3 very big elements. The first being, of course, the airplanes themselves. The second being the staff, and in particular the pilots. And of course, you're right, the third is the fuel cost. The fuel cost is a huge element, particularly for budget airlines, because they tend to work on, obviously, lower prices. So the fact that jet fuel prices have nearly halved over the last 6 to 7 months is good news. Not straight away, though, because they do tend to hedge their costs going forward, but it is still something that will benefit the profit line over the next year, 2 years, 3 years even.
The major airlines, the non-budget airlines, the premium airlines, they sort of woke up to the threat of budget airlines and got a bit better at what they were doing and managed their prices a bit better and their deals a bit better. And I do remember reading comparatively recently that, you know, budget airlines' heyday was over. Is that not the case? Can they sustain the sort of growth that they've enjoyed in the past?
Well, I think so. I think so, George, because if you look at flag-carrying airlines, you know, the flagship airlines like IAG, which is the parent of British Airways, they make their money on long haul. So they try to compete, but frankly, they cannot make money at the Ryanair or easyJet level. And at the same time, remember, the economic tailwinds are fantastic for budget airlines in the UK, because you have UK consumer confidence at a record high, UK unemployment going down.
All right.
So those are also very important economic tailwinds.
Oh, okay. So apart from the Ryanairs and the easyJets and so on, which are sort of perhaps the names people would first come up with, who do you fancy in budget airlines as a good punt?
If you can look into the small cap arena, there's a company called Dart Group, which is actually the owner of the Jet2 airline that actually uses the East Midlands Airport as one of its major hubs. So they fly to lots of destinations from the Midlands and actually have done extremely well, also growing passenger numbers, growing profitability, but are much, much cheaper as a stock than either Ryanair or easyJet. So my favourite would be Dart Group.
All right.
If you have to go for one of the big ones, I still like easyJet. It's something I did tip back in December, and I still like today, because again, you have that positive dynamic in terms of profits, in terms of passenger numbers, and they also pay a very handy dividend, well over 3%.
Well, there you are. Budget airlines. Grit your teeth. If your experience isn't great, you could get your money back by investing in them. Thank you very much, Edmund. Look forward to seeing you again, and thank you for watching.